Inquiry, Tranche 2, Phase 2. We've been listening to the live evidence of former Detective Chief Inspector Eric Docker. I'm joined by Eveline Lubbers of the Undercover Research Group.
Yeah.
Eric Docker's a miserable kid, isn't he? He's really angry.
He's so angry.
Surly.
He's like his facial expressions and the way he answers. It's like, of course, we have to say that David Barr started with like kind of very prickly question.
Oh yeah, you deviate. It was the thing that was looked at last week, where the security services, on the first time meeting Docker, described him as deeper than Barber and more devious.
Yeah,
are you devious, Mr. Docker? No, I'm not. How dare you?
It's not like it's okay. Welcoming question on Monday morning. It's like
knew
things on the spot.
He knew what was in the
away.
reports. He knew what was in the files. He knows he's only here for 2 days. He knows how much there is to get through. He also is fully aware that as the first mention of him within the SDS, he should have known that was going to be the first question.
Yeah, maybe yes. But I think he was angry before that. He was angry coming in and having been asked / forced to appear here, and it's like he seems ready to explode at any moment later today, and he's like really.
I'm not just quickly to say that there's a big gap between where David Barr, who's doing the questioning, and Eric Docker, who's doing the answering, are in the room. They're quite a long way from each other, so it's more than the length of Docker's arm, because otherwise David Barr would have got punched in the mouth by now.
Yes, he's very sort of.
He keeps going like.
Yeah.
And
not really, but it's like.
Well, when the camera's not on him, he's like he's there like.
He's very uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable. Certainly.
Angry. He doesn't remember anything of any important stuff. There's this weird. He could have been asked like. He says that he understands why married officers were asked and wives were being talked to as well, but they never ever talked about sexual relationships.
Oh, never.
Never. It was never. So there's this, discrepancy between those two things, which you could, but it's also so obvious that further questioning is sort of not needed.
I mean, you get the impression that the things we're going to learn from Eric Docker are despite his best attempts. He's going to have to be caught out in order to have to admit to something, because he is going into this process very much with the intention of revealing as little as possible. He said to him, his answer to the devious comment was, as I always say to recruits, you've got 2 eyes, 2 ears and 1 mouth. Use them proportionately. Yeah,
which gave comments online like, okay, there was this one. Well, there's one like, what's the game in England? Heads.
Hens, shoulders, knees and toes.
Like that comes to mind, but also, they were using one other aspect of their body too much, too many times.
Yeah, they're cocks.
I was going to say it because you might be removed from Twitter again.
What? The same penis or something? Yeah, I think you're fine. I mean, they did use their penises quite a lot when they really shouldn't have. But there we go.
Yeah, and he's like, what we learned, during this phase is that basically managers came in, did not get any handover from their predecessors, had to learn on the job. Did not inform themselves about, we got some information about this file that was kept in the SDS, which we've been wondering about. It's like, it's a number and then unreg, like from unregistered. You wondered what that file would be with, and he explained that that's the files they kept at the unit.
Policy files.
He's
the first person to admit it, right?
Yeah. And then, things that have gone wrong, or things but then again, he knew what that was, but then also claimed that he had not looked into that when he first came on board. And Barr went like, well, it would have been a good idea maybe, to familiarise yourself with the unit, to look into that file. And I never did that. And Barr is like clearly enjoying himself.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, there is this sort of the angrier and the more arrogant and the more, I don't know, closed up this guy get, or denying everything. Barr is going like, just wait for it, gonna get you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there is. It's like, we went to this, like, it's probably not going to say much, and it's going to be, we're all waiting for HN109, who's, like, being treated with so much secrecy. So I sort of went in, like, okay, it's one of those days. And you really go, like, what's happening here? There's so much tension in the room and so much. It's going to be interesting, the next...
Yeah, I mean, most of the former undercover officers or managers have shown a certain element of deference to the process, to the chair. He's not showing any of that.
No, he's really, really... Well, it's like they could... I think they're not being forced to appear, are they? They could be made to.
Yeah, they could be made to, but
apparently he has come, like, voluntarily.
Sure, but there's voluntarily and voluntarily,
yeah,
right?
Well, that's
Do you know what I mean?
clear. That's what we see here today.
Yeah, very much. And we haven't got long for the break.
No,
we should go back in soon. Anything else you want to add?
No, I'll be back later.
Okay, yeah. See you all at lunchtime. Cheers for joining.
Yeah.